Hi guys! Today I'm going to be doing the fairy tale book tag and the fairy tale retelling book tag. I saw both of these on Celestria's channel. She did them in the same video, so I figured, hey, I may as well do that too, because they sounded like fun. And because of the Once Upon a February readathon going on, I am very much in a fairy tale mood, so I thought this would be a good month to do these in. Alright, so for the fairy tale tag, the first question is Rapunzel, a long book you gave 5 stars, and has to be a book over 450 pages. And for that, I've got 2 answers. There's more than 2, but I've got 2 answers. One of them is Jane Eyre, which according to Goodreads is over 450 pages, and the other one is North and South, which Goodreads says is over 450 pages. I'm not confident my copy is, but Goodreads said it was, so we'll say that one as well. But anyway, yeah, I really enjoy both of these. They're classics, so you probably know about them. But yeah, just very fun, enjoyable reads, both of them. North and South is more enjoyable than Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre is a little, but it's still fun. I still enjoy it. All right, next is The Little Mermaid, a book that took your breath away. And I just realized that I have this book down twice, and I try not to reuse books in tags. But I don't really know of any other books that would work for this one. I guess I'll change the later answer. So anyway, a book that took your breath away. For that, I'm going with Adorning the Dark by Andrew Peterson. This is a nonfiction book just about creativity and being an artist and things, but it's actually about a lot more than that, and it's so good. I really enjoyed it. It almost made me cry. Like, I teared up a little reading it. It was great. And I really need to get my own copy. I borrowed it from a friend, but I really need to get my own copy because it's so good. All right, next, a book with Swan Lake, a book with the theme of sacrifice. And if you know me, this may not have been such a surprise if you've been around here at all. Yeah, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, because Aslan sacrifices himself for Edmund. I guess that's spoilers for Narnia, but seriously, if you're on my channel, you've probably at least read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe or seen the movie. So yes, a book with the theme of sacrifice. Alright, next is Rumpelstiltskin, a book that changed you. And this was the book I also had Adorning the Dark down for. So, Adorning the Dark, technically. But then, I guess I will also sort of cheat. The other option is I'm copying Celestria's answer and going with the Bible. Because, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. So, the Bible. Or Adorning the Dark, if I want to reuse the answer. Alright, next is Cinderella, a book with a self-sufficient character but not snobby. And for that, I'm going with Anne Elliot from Persuasion, because she has to be very self-sufficient because no one in her family cares about her. Her family is the worst. Well, is Fanny Price's family the worst is the real question. Fanny Price's family might be the real worst, but Anne Elliot's family is also pretty terrible. And nobody will give her a hand with anything, so she has to be self-sufficient, but she's not snobby about it. Well, no, I would still say Anne Elliot was not snobby, even with her being persuaded, hence the title, by Lady Russell to give up her, the guy she loved. By the time the book starts, she's not snobby. I think she still works. If not, we'll say Fanny Price, even though she's not as self-sufficient, but still. If not, if you don't think that counts, then say Fanny Price from Mansfield Park. Alright, next is The 12 Dancing Princesses, a King series you love, or a book with lots of characters. And I've got one that counts for both. So this book, so the series I want to mention here is Allon. It is a series that's got a bunch of characters, both human and basically angels. The first book is a lot like the story of David. It's very much a David adaptation, and then it just kind of, or David retelling, I guess. It's a non-magical Christian fantasy, and then it just goes on from there, keeps following the king, and then it follows his son and daughters, and yeah, it's just really good. I really love this series. This is probably my 3rd favorite series overall, ever. Narnia is number 1, Lord of the Rings is number 2. I will acknowledge Lord of the Rings is better than Narnia, don't get me wrong, I'm aware it's better. But I just love Narnia more, so, yeah. And then Allon is number 3. I love this series so much, I don't know if I can fully explain why, but I just love it. So, yeah, there's bunches of characters, though, in this. And also I just love it, so. Sleeping Beauty, a book with a slow plot. And for that, I've got Ben-Hur, because, oh my goodness, this book was so slow. I did enjoy it. I think I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but, what is with this? I think it's like 13, no, it's gotta be more than that. Maybe 13%, maybe just 13%, but still, there's a huge chunk of the book at the beginning that's just, like, not even connected to the main character. Like, the main character doesn't even show up till about, I think it's probably about 15% into the book. I read it on ebook, so I'm going with percentages and not page numbers. But, yeah, the main character doesn't even show up. And then, it's just so, yeah, it's a good book. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I had a few issues with his theology, but I did enjoy it. But yeah, not great. Like, no, he was great, but like, just so slow. It was slow. It took so long to get going, and then finally when it got started, it was good, but yeah, it's just Wallace took his time. Yeah. Alright, next is Mulan, a book with lots of action. And for that, I have the Barenfell Prophecies series by Wayne Thomas Batson. This is probably my 4th favorite series. I just listed my top 3, so this is probably number 4. Love this book series so much. It is YA Christian fantasy about a group of kids who learn that they are actually elf lords from another world called Barenfell. They were brought to our world as babies, and like the tips of their ears were cut off so they look like humans, but they have scars so they can tell. But then they start also getting, like, I don't want to say magic gifts because they're not magic. They're just powers that are inherent to their being elf lords. And there's also women. They're also called lords. I know it's confusing. I kind of wish they would have just gone with lords and ladies, but whatever. But anyway, that book had a lot of fighting and stuff, so yeah. Especially the last book. I think the last book, The Tide of Unmaking, that one had a lot of battles. Alright, next is Aladdin, a book that transported you to a whole new world. And I mean, I just admitted that Lord of the Rings is better than Narnia, so we're going to go with Lord of the Rings for this, because the world building in this book is incredible. Like, Tolkien's world building is just the best. So, yeah, Lord of the Rings. Next is Alice in Wonderland, a frabjous book with a great cast of side characters. And frabjous is apparently a word in Alice in Wonderland. I read Alice in Wonderland last month, and I don't remember that, but oh well. And so, great cast of side characters. For that, I'm going with Cranford. This is a book that's basically only side characters. There are no main characters. Like, there is a main character, but, like, it's almost all entirely side characters. But I really did enjoy this book. It's just basically about a small town and the ladies that run this small town. It's great. If you've read Anne of Green Gables, this book is basically like if you took Rachel Lynde and filled a whole town with Rachel Lynde. Yeah, that's basically what this book is. It was wonderful. Very delightful. They put pajamas on a cow. Yeah. Anyway, let's... and then the last one is Wild Card, your favorite fairy tale retelling couple. This is hard. We're going to talk more about retellings in just a second, so I won't actually go into that yet. But I'm probably going to say that I'm going to... I have 3 different answers I want to go with. They're all Melanie Dickerson, because Melanie Dickerson is really my go-to fairy tale retelling. In fact, most of the fairy tale retellings I've ever read have been Melanie Dickerson. So, yeah. So I'm going to go with so I've got 3. So one of them is Margaretha and Colin from The Princess Spy. They're the ones I have written down, and I think I might stick with them because they're precious. But then the other 2 answers that I've got are the couple from A Noble Servant and the couple from Castle of Refuge. These 2 are Edwin and Audrey, and her name is Magdalene and his is Stefan. Magdalene and Stefan. I remembered before I looked it up. I just read this book. I just reread all of the books of hers that I own, so yeah. I have a crying baby. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. He got hungry, so I had to go take care of that. But he's good now. Alright, so the second tag I'm going to do is the fairy tale retelling book tag. So the first question is, what is your favorite fairy tale? And I love a lot of fairy tales. I love Rapunzel. I love Sleeping Beauty. I love, I love pretty much all of them. But I think my favorite is probably Cinderella. So the next question is, what is your favorite retelling of that story? And for me, like I said, most of my retellings that I've read are Melanie Dickerson books. So my favorite retelling of that is The Captive Maiden by Melanie Dickerson. This was maybe my first Melanie Dickerson. I don't know. It was either this one or The Fairest Beauty, the one right before this. But it's just super good. It's a Christian medieval retelling of Cinderella. So, yeah. Really great. Alright, next question is... It flipped. Next question is, what is your favorite retelling of a different fairy tale? And I think this is my favorite Melanie Dickerson book, period. And it's The Golden Braid. Which, as you may guess by her long hair, this is a Rapunzel retelling. Same series. This is just so good. And I really love how in multiple books, Melanie Dickerson takes the elements of not just the general fairy tale, but even like elements of the Disney movie. Obviously not like the copyrighted elements and stuff, but like for example in this one, Rapunzel likes to paint. I don't think that's part of any of the original fairy tales, but it's obviously a big part of Tangled. So, I assume this was published after Tangled. When was this? Yeah, 2015. So 5 years after Tangled. So yeah, definitely plenty of time for this, for her to have written this after Tangled came out. Alright, but yeah, I think this is my favorite book by her of the ones I've read. I've not read all of her books. I like several, but anyway. Next is, what style of retelling do you prefer? I think I prefer just historical. Like I said, mainly I've read Melanie Dickerson. I do have one other Cinderella retelling, and that is The Maid of Ballymaccool by Jennifer Dybel. This is also a historical one, so I think I just like the historical kind, but I would probably enjoy fantasy or futuristic or sci-fi or something. I just haven't read those yet. Alright, next, what two fairy tales would you combine for an amazing retelling? I don't know. I've got several options here. Maybe Aladdin and Cinderella. That would be cool. Or The Little Mermaid and Cinderella. Where like the mermaid becomes... I don't know. I feel like you could do something where like the mermaid runs away from the stepmother underwater and escapes to the shore and becomes a servant in the castle or something. I don't know. Maybe that. Or I like this one, Puss in Boots and Cinderella. So now that I know the original story of Puss in Boots, yes, I think that would really work. Where like it's kind of is already sort of almost a Cinderella tale, but just add in an evil stepmother and you got it. Puss in Boots and Cinderella. Yes. And then maybe also Rapunzel and the Frog Prince. I don't know, like somehow I think that could work too. But anyway, that's fun to think about. Like, which ones could combine? Or maybe like Beauty and the Beast and Swan Lake. You could maybe combine those. Like where he's only a beast at night or something, or during the day, and then at night he's a man or something. Yeah, maybe something like that. Alright, what retelling book is on your TBR that you would like to read soon? And for that I'm going with Veil of Winter by Melanie Dickerson. I think that's the next one in the Daracot Tales. The rest, so I've read the first two of the Daracot Tales. So 3 through 6, I need to read those now that 6 just came out. Yeah, I want to read all 4 of those very soon. And also, Fairest of Heart by Karen Wittemeyer. That's a Texas retelling of Snow White, and I want to read that one. Alright, what is the last retelling you finished? And that would be Castle of Refuge, because I just reread all the Dickerson books that I own. I want to own the rest of them and read those, but I don't have them, so this was the last one that I finished. And then, what fairy tale have you not read a retelling of, but would like to? I think The 12 Dancing Princesses. I've seen a movie that's a retelling of that, the Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses, which is very good. Really love that. It's one of the best Barbie movies. But I've not read a book about it. And I think that'd be cool. And then finally, what is one retelling you are currently anticipating coming out? And I have If the Boot Fits, which is the second in that Texas retelling series. This is Cinderella. I would also say since the 6th book in the Daracot Tales just came out, there's no information on Melanie Dickerson's next book, but I would imagine there's going to be another one because there's like 7 brothers and 1 sister, so there should be, 8 books in the story, or in the series, so yes. Looking forward to the next book in that as well. So, alright, those are the fairy tale tag and the fairy tale retelling tag. Hope you enjoyed them. Let me know in the comments what your favorite fairy tale retelling is. Especially if you know of any more Christian retellings. I would love that. I need more fairy tale retellings in my life. So, yeah, like and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!